Kumusta na kayo mga mahal kong mag-aaral? Narito na naman muli ang MathALAS channel through Sir Absolon at kayo ay aking binabati para sa isa na namang makabuluhang pagtalakay sa mga lesson na may kinalaman sa mga araling pang-matematika. So ano pa ang hinihintay natin? Let's go! Ang ating papag-aralan sa ngayon ay tungkol sa integral exponent. Pero para mas maliwanag kung ano sa palagay natin ang integral exponent, from the word integral, ito ay tumutukoy sa mga bilang na may negative, tapos on the right side these are the positive numbers, and then kasali din ang zero dyan. So yan ang tinatawag natin na integral numbers. At ang exponent naman, ito yung nakikita na natin na maliit na bilang o numero sa upper right corner of a number or a variable. At ang ibig sabihin nito, siyang nagsasabi kung ilang beses nating i-multiply yung base used as a factor n times. So that is an example of or the meaning of exponent. So for today, you are expected that at the end of this lesson, you should be able to apply the laws involving positive integral exponent to zero and negative integral exponent. Did you get it, class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with the first laws of exponent. And number one is the product rule. And the product rule states that for any non-zero real numbers a and integers m and n, then a raised to m multiplied by a raised to n is equivalent to a raised to m plus n, where a is not equivalent to 0. So in our example, we have 3 squared multiplied by 3 raised to 1. So, using now the given product rule, so that is equivalent to 3 raised to 2 plus 1. And 2 plus 1 is equivalent to 3. So, we have 3 raised to 3, and then expanding 3 raised to 3, that is 3 times 3 times 3. So, therefore, the answer is 27. Okay, so let's proceed now to law number 2, and that is the quotient rule. And let me read for you. So for any non-zero real number a and integer m and n, then by case 1, where m is greater than n, then paano ang gagawin natin dito? So if the numerator and denominator have the same base, then ang gagawin natin, kopyahin mo lang yung common base which is a, and then i-minus mo yung exponent sa denominator na n dun sa exponent ng numerator na m. So that is a is equal to m minus n. At of course, meron tayong restriction dito where a is not equal to 0. So sa ating halimbawa sa ngayon, so we have 2 raised to 4 divided by 2 raised to 2. So yung value ng m natin ay 4 and the value of n is 2. So therefore 4 is greater than 2. So anong gagawin natin sa kanilang mga exponent? Pag-minusin lang natin pagkatapos natin makopya yung common base ng numerator and denominator natin. So therefore, so that is equivalent to 4 minus 2. And that is 2. Again, copy the common base 2. And what is the meaning of 2 raised to 2? That is equivalent to 4. Because 2 raised to 2, it is equivalent to 2 times 2. And 2 times 2 is equivalent to 4. So we are still on quotient rule, but this time we have case 2. Ano ba yung case 2? Yung value ng m ay less than the value of n. So meaning to say, the exponent in the numerator is less than the exponent in the denominator. So again, yung base natin ay parehas pa rin, a. So paano ang gagawin natin? So you're going to place 1 in the numerator, and then doon tayo sa denominator mag-minus ng mga exponent. but still you're going to copy the common base, which is a. So that is 1 over a raised to the exponent n minus m, the exponent in the numerator. And again, a must not be equal to 0. Okay, so sa example na tayo sa case 2, ano? Wherein the exponent in the numerator is less than the exponent in the denominator. And katulad pa rin ng dati, parehas yung base natin, 2. So, we are going to follow the rule. So, place 1 in the numerator. And then, dito tayo sa denominator mag-minus ng mga exponent. So, that is 4 minus 2. So, that is equal to copy 1 all over 2 raised to 2 because 4 minus 2 is 2. And then, we are going to extract the square of 2. So, that is 4. So, therefore, the final answer is 1 is 2. For case 3, under quotient rule pa rin tayo. So, this time, paano naman kung yung m ay equal na dun sa value ng n? Ibig sabihin, yung exponent sa numerator na m ay equal sila dun sa exponent ng denominator na n. So, if we're going to subtract their exponent after copying the base, of course, since they are equal, so m minus n, it will become 0. Now, if the exponent now is 0, then the answer is 1. Why? Okay, so why is it that any number or term raised to 0 is equivalent to 1? So, let's take now our illustration. So, this time we have 4 divided by 4. So, 4 is equivalent to 2 raised to 2. So, in the denominator, we have also 2 raised to 2. Now, applying now the quotient rule, so we have to subtract the exponent 2 minus 2. If we're going to copy the base 2 and then subtracting the exponent 2 minus 2, it will become 0. So, meaning to say, if 2 raised to 0, then that is equivalent to 1. Why? Because galing siya dun sa 4 divided by 4. Diba kung i-divide natin yung 4 divided by 4, 1 ang sagot. So therefore, ang ibig sabihin nun kapag 0 yung exponent, kahit anumang number yung base niya, ito ay always equal to 1. Naintindihan nyo ba mga anak?
Yes, sir.
So we are now on the third law of exponent, and this is the power of a power rule. And let me read. For any non-zero real number a and integers m and n, then a raised to m raised to another exponent n, then it is equivalent to a, the base a, raised to m multiplied by n, where a is not equal to 0. So meaning to say, ang ibig sabihin nito, kapag a power ay na-raise sa iba pang power, so, ang gagawin lang dito is we are going to multiply the exponent. Did you get it? Okay, so nandito na tayo sa ating examples. So, we have 3 raised to 2 and again it was raised to another exponent 2. So, it is equal to 3, the base, and then you are going to multiply the exponent. So, we have 2 times 2 and 2 times 2 is equivalent to 4. So, we have 3 raised to 4. Now, if we are going to expand that 3 raised to 4, it is equivalent to 81. So, we are now on the fourth law of exponent, and this is the power of a product rule. And it states this way: for any non-zero real numbers a and b, and integers m, n, and p, then we have the quantity a raised to m, b raised to n, raised to another exponent p, then it is equivalent to a raised to m multiplied by p, b raised to n multiplied by p, where a and b is not equal to 0. Kaya kapag meron tayong product doon sa base and then ito ay ni-erase sa another exponent, so ang gagawin lang natin, i-distribute natin yung outer exponent doon sa mga exponents sa bases natin. Finally, we are now on the last law of exponent, and that is the power of the quotient rule. and it states this way: for any non-zero real numbers a and b and integers m, n, and p, then we have the quantity a raised to m all over by b raised to n raised to p. It is equivalent to a raised to m multiplied by b all over by b raised to n multiplied by p, where b is not equal to 0. So it means that if a quotient is raised to another exponent, then we simply distribute the outer exponent to the exponent inside the quantity in the quotient. Is it clear? So to illustrate the last law of exponent, which is the power of the quotient rule, so we have our example this time: 3 raised to 2 all over by 4, and it was raised to 2. So ang gagawin natin dito, so we are going to distribute or multiply the exponent in the numerator to the outside exponents, which is also 2, so that is 2 times 2, and of course we're going to copy the base 3, and in the denominator our base is 4, and kapag wala tayong nakikitang exponent, automatic ng exponent ay 1, so that will be 4 raised to 1 multiplied by 2. And then if we simplify the numerator, so we have 3 raised to 2 times 2, so that is 2 times 2 is equivalent to 4, so we have 3 raised to 4. And in the denominator, 1 times 2 is equivalent to 2, so we have 4 raised to 2. And then if we're going to expand it, that is equivalent to 81 all over 16. So i-apply na natin yung mga iba't ibang laws of exponent in solving the following problems. So we have here number 1, simplify x raised to negative 2. So anong gagamitin natin dito? We are going to apply the laws of negative exponent. In question number 1, we can write x raised to negative 2 as x raised to negative 2 over 1. So to solve this and to convert it into positive exponent, we simply take the reciprocal. So babaliktarin lang natin, and then kapag binaliktad na natin yung kanyang position to get the reciprocal, and then kasabay nun ay papalitan na rin yung sign ng ating exponent para siya ay magiging positive. Did you get it right, my dear student?
Yes, sir.
So in the case of x raised to negative 2, so dahil yung kanyang denominator ay 1, babaliktarin natin, so mapunta sa numerator. And then yung x raised to negative 2 ipupunta natin naman sa denominator. And at the same time, we're going to change the sign of the exponent. Kaya siya nagiging x squared, which is positive. Okay, so let's proceed to question number 2. What is the value of 3 raised to 0? Okay, the answer is any number raised to 0 is equivalent to 1. So therefore, 3 raised to 0 is equal to 1. So maliwanag ba yun? Nasabi ko na sa ating pambungad na lesson na kahit anumang letter or number, basta ang exponent niya is 0, it is always equal to 1. Okay, we are now on question number 3, and let me read. Simplify the expression 3 raised to 8 divided by 3 raised to 5. So what is the solution? We're going to use the law of exponent number 2, case 1, where the value of m is greater than the value of n, because 8 is greater than 5, the exponent in the denominator. So paano natin isosolve yun? Copy the common base, and then we are going to subtract the exponent. So that is 3, and then you are going to subtract the exponent, 8 minus 5, so the answer is 3 raised to 3. And then if we're going to simplify that, that is equivalent to 27, because 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 27. Okay, so let's take problem number 4, and I will read. Simplify the quantity negative 2xy raised to negative 3. So in this case, since we have an exponent of negative 3, so ang i-apply natin ay yung rule kung paano isi-simplify ang rational exponent na kung saan ito ay negative. So kapag natatandaan yung mga anak, pag ganito, we are going to take the reciprocal of the base. So since the denominator of negative 2xy is 1, so we are going to reverse that, so it will become the quantity 1 over 2xy raised to positive 3. Remember, if you already taken the reciprocal of your base, then you're going to change the sign of your exponent, and then after that you're going to distribute your exponent to the exponent of your base. So that is 1 raised to 3, negative 2 raised to 3, x raised to 3, and y raised to 3, because we are going to distribute the exponent outside the parentheses. And if you're going to simplify this, so that this 1 raised to 3 is still 1 all over by negative 2 raised to 3, so that is negative 8, because negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4, and multiplied again by negative 2, so that is negative 8. And then just affix x raised to 3 and y raised to 3. So therefore the final answer is 1 over negative 8 x raised to 3 y raised to 3. So we are now in our final problem, which is number 5, and we're going to simplify the quantity 6a cubed b raised to 4 all over by z squared y raised to 4 raised to negative 2. And to address this type of problem, since we have a negative exponent, so we're going to take the reciprocal of our base. So we are going to interchange the numerator and our denominator, then after which we are going to change the sign of our exponent. So 6a cubed b raised to 4 will be moved to the denominator, and y squared y raised to 4 will be moved to the numerator. And then after that, we're going to distribute by multiplying the outer exponent to each of the exponent in our bases. So that is z raised to 2 times 2. So it will become z raised to 4, and then y raised to 4 times 2. So it will become y raised to 8. And then 2 times 1, the exponent of 6. So it will become 6 raised to 2. And then 2 multiplied by the exponent of a, which is 3. So it will become 6. And 2 multiplied by the exponent of b, which is 4, so it will become 8. So finally, extracting the square of 6 squares, so it will become 36. So therefore, the final answer will be z raised to 4, y raised to 8, all over by 36, a raised to 6, b raised to 8. And that is our final answer. Did you get it, my dear student?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good job!
Dito na nagtatapos ang ating lesson sa araw na ito. And this is once again Sir Absolon of MathALAS channel. And always remember, we are making mathematics more easy. Bye-bye!